Please welcome Chief Information Officer of J.E. Dunn, John Jacobs, and welcome back, Rob Painter.
All right, John, have a seat. Hola, Jose, bienvenidos. Con mucho gusto. Hey, John, thanks for being here. I really appreciate this. This is so much fun to be able to have this conversation. I've been looking forward to this for a while now, and I just have so much respect for J.E. Dunn. I have such deep appreciation for you. I've known you for a long time now, and I love seeing how J.E. Dunn approaches technology at scale and at this intersection of people, process, and technology. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you. That video was awesome. How about that? And what I love about this opportunity, thanks for having me, is that you're asking me more about the people side of this than about AI. Everybody wants to talk about AI, and we will talk about AI. But what that's proving is the tech is enabling the people, and the people are driving this. So yeah,
so let's work with that. Let's talk about people, talk about the J.E. Dunn way. And tell me, what is it that is keeping you up at night? What are the biggest challenges that you're facing?
Yeah, people. So let's start globally. We have an American issue. We have an industry issue. So I think the numbers would say, we'll start with one specific vertical, data center construction. So J.E.'s proud to be one of the builders that can handle these huge data centers, these mega projects, so to speak. And across the US, I understand that the demand has reached about $40 billion in data center construction demand. But we, the construction industry, can supply about $33 billion of that. So we're already $7 billion behind with the people that we have today. Well, that math trickles down to J.E. Dunn as well. So some would say that we could move every single person in our company to just build data centers and not keep up with our clients' demand. So it's an American industry problem, construction industry problem, a J.E. Dunn problem. And so we're tackling it. We have three different things that I would say we've been really successful with. The first is a commitment to an enterprise standard. That's a little bit different than most. We don't vary construction technology job to job. So consistency drives standards, and that allows us to take people from one job to another, hit the ground, and move and go fast. So that maximizes people's ability to do what they do. Second would be automation, robotics, everything you've talked about in this presentation this morning. That's to help people do more, maybe even supplement the people. And then the third is take the work off the site, so off-site manufacturing. J.E. Dunn has a self-performed division. It's branded as Form, Off-Site Solutions. But that's, again, maximizing the value of our people, our limited resources that are so critical and that are doing all the great work.
So let's talk about workflow and the use of technology. How are you connecting Trimble solutions for building layout and self-perform modeling? And I know self-perform is very central to the strategy at J.E. Dunn, and why is that as well?
So I'll first just say we've embraced everything Trimble end-to-end, and it's changed everything. So we're doing modeling in Tekla, we're bringing it all together in Connect, we're doing layout with FieldLink, and my personal favorite is Site Vision. So if we're doing AR and doing quality control with Site Vision, and then as built-in with X9 and scanning it. So we have a very consistent, we deploy that integrated platform that you offer on every single self-performed job that J.E. Dunn does. But that's just a piece of our standard platform. So we do design, we do pre-planning, estimating, we do project management, post-delivery, all of that. So Trimble's a critical piece of a much larger platform. The beauty is that we've worked with your back-end side, integrating all of the data, because data's everything, and we want to pull all the data out of what we're getting out of Trimble to supplement bigger insights and decisions that we can talk about later.
So let's pull that thread, because what you're getting at is ecosystem and a variety of solutions, Trimble and non-Trimble in that respect.
Right.
And tell us where Trimble fits inside that ecosystem.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch and do a little bit of an analogy. So this week is Veterans Day. Thank you to all my fellow veterans. I had the honor of serving on an aircraft carrier after college. Oh, thank you. And There's no better picture of an ecosystem than an aircraft carrier. I mean, what happens on those things is stunning. But here's why this is relevant here. For an aircraft carrier to be prepared to fight, it has to turn into the wind. And a very small piece turns that giant aircraft carrier into the wind. It's the rudder. So the rudder positions an entire ecosystem to operate most effectively. So for J. Dunn, our rudder is self-perform. I mean, self-perform is driving schedule, it's driving labor, it's driving productivity, it's driving quality, it's driving all the things that are crucial to the success of an overall project. So if self-perform can get us in the right position, then every other piece in that ecosystem can flourish. So again, we've tied all the different non-Trimble systems together in one broad platform, but it doesn't fight ideally. Maybe fight's the wrong word. It's not positioned to function ideally or at its best unless self-perform is driving it.
So one of the things I appreciate about working with you is you love to get down to quantify things. You look for ROI. You're not a happy talk guy. You want to know what's the result. You like real data. You like numbers. Share that with the audience, the numbers that you're seeing in the results.
Yeah, we talk a lot about metrics and insights, and it's driving a lot at J. Dunn. We're making decisions based on data. But what I'm most pumped about is I can stand in front of you and talk about, we said data centers, but I can talk about field results today. So one data center project, one pour, well, it was 2 pours, but it was one project, about 8,000 yard slab on grade pour. So we took the model Tekla, we're doing layout with field link, but then we take it to machine control. So our waste factor versus what we poured was reduced so significantly that we saved 22% of the concrete. That's 700 yards of concrete that we saved on one job, on one massive pour cycle. All right, let's just think about that. So that's technology driving material savings, driving labor savings, and then the add-on things like trucking that concrete to the job. That was 70 plus gallons of fuel that we reduced. So not only is there an economic benefit that we're seeing in those specific results, there's the sustainability side. So that's our biggest carbon footprint is the concrete. So between the mixed designs that we're choosing and then just eliminating the material, and then that trucking and fuel, we saw a 27% reduction in our carbon footprint. That's one job in one scope. So now, because we're committed to doing that across all of our jobs, you can do the math and scale that it's significant. So that's one. A second one, quickly. I know everybody else in the room, you guys probably all have never redone anything on your jobs. Everybody in here is perfect and placed everything without a mistake. I will admit that J. Dunn maybe has torn out 1 or 2 things. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying it on the main stage. But in 2021, we made a commitment to standardizing our self-perform workflows. And we knew it was going to take some time for that to take effect. In 2022, we still had the issues. I will admit that it's hard to get this number, but we think we had about $2 million in rework. But the standards were taking place, this consistency was starting to take hold. In 2023, less than 500,000 in rework. In 2024, less than 300,000 in rework. And this year, 0. So $2 million down to 0 in rework. Tell me that standardized self-perform workflow isn't having very specific financial results.
Compounding,
like a penny. There we go. Yeah.
That's just phenomenal to hear. And I'm so struck by the standardization thought process you have across the company. This is a $7 billion revenue company today, 101-year-old company, 5,000 employees. That's no joke. Share, if you can, with the audience how you go about that and what really drives you to work for that standardization and that consistency in your work.
Yeah, I'll say it's a challenge because the technology, the pace is moving. Several of your speakers have talked about it. It's a crazy time to be in this industry. So there's a big pull of technology to try this on this job. Let's try something else. But at this point, back to the very beginning, people are everything. So we're keeping people first by saying standardization is enabling our people. So standardization is first. but you have to balance standardization with innovation. So where's AI come into play? Where does other technologies? But we're allowing those to supplement the standard, not replace the standard.
Okay, so we're 10 minutes into our conversation, and now I'll say the word AI. So talk to us about your data journey, though, before, put that in context of AI. Share your thinking.
Yeah, in 2008, we did a 6-company merger. And again, I'm sure all of you have completely clean data, but maybe we didn't. So 6 companies, all the ERPs coming together. We noticed when we pulled the data that there was something like 17 versions of ThyssenKrupp elevator, Scandinavian elevator company that nobody knows how to spell, so they just keep adding it. Well, you can't do AI without clean data. So we made a huge commitment to standardize our data platform, and then we have created ecosystems around that data strategy. And we're not relying on vendors for that. This is where I will say this is a J. Dunn thing, not a Trimble or other vendor thing. So we're committed to data strategy first to enable that standardization that then enables our people and our self-perform workflows.
If we can zoom out for a bit, talk to us about just getting started. We talked about compounding. I talk about the idea of it starts with getting started, having that courage and conviction to do that. For your colleagues, peers who are here, share your perspective and your learnings, maybe some of your scars, about what it takes to get started on a journey like this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Your penny analogy is perfect. And that wasn't planned, by the way. I didn't see the penny thing until this morning. Because you have to start, and then the start, you don't see that gain for a while. So when we cleaned up our data, we literally pushed, you couldn't add a business partner to J. Dunn unless it went through one person. Again, we're a almost $8 billion organization that we're still funneling. We're so committed to clean data that we're doing what it takes to maintain that clean data moving forward. I will tell you, when it takes longer to set up a business partner, you hear some noise. But when you see the outcomes that we were just talking about, so that the data, the insights, the analytics prove that that commitment to standardization works at scale. So stay with it. So start, focus on clean data, and then stay committed to doing what it takes to maintain that clean data.
And give the audience a sense of where you want to go. What's the vision? What next? If you're up here with me in 3 years from now, what do you want to be talking about?
Yeah, this is the dream, if you will, right? So I would dream of a hypothetical carpenter named Rob Painter. And Rob shows up at a J. Dunn job and stands on the deck. And we should know who Rob is. We should know what Rob's job is to do. Therefore, we should know what data you need. We should also know where you are on the job. And then we should deliver all of that information to you in real time. You should just show up and that should happen. We're close. We can really see that tomorrow. So that's exciting. But here's where I'm going to vary a little bit and be aspirational about AI, but for a reason, and maybe this is a little bit bigger than even just in this room. So we talk a lot about data silos and breaking down data silos, and J. Dunn has been committed to breaking down those data silos. I'll draw a brief analogy to say I think maybe globally, we are all retreating to our little data silos, like our little world. We're only hearing in our social media or in our news feeds one portion of the story. And we don't communicate well when we only know one perspective. So here's my dream of AI. If Rob Painter, the carpenter, is on the deck and we deliver everything to you in real time, you're going to be more efficient at your job. What are you going to do with that efficiency? I hope it means you're going to go talk to the other leadership, craftspeople on your job and solution things so we could get back to the people. So if AI can drive efficiency to help our true craftspeople be more efficient individually, it will free up time for them to just do more work. How about problem solve better? How about we take then that for us, collectively, and inspire us to connect more and to hear different opinions and to solve because of our people connection that are enabled by AI. AI shouldn't make our decisions. It should help us have better conversations.
Love it. Any last thoughts?
No, it's a balance to sit in with you, having done this for so long with you, and know your vision and see what you're doing with this organization and see it turn into results. So thanks for giving us a chance to do this, and for me to have a chance to brag about several of my coworkers and peers who do all the work. I just get to talk about it. But our craftspeople that do this every single day, that put work in place, we really do believe that you are helping us enable the workforce of tomorrow to embrace the promise of technology and build better.
Folks, this is real. This isn't hype. Please give John Jacobs a big hand. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.